Good day, children. In the previous three sessions, we read about YMCA pool incident, the sense of panic that gripped William O. Douglas, and how he tried to overcome his fear by hiring an instructor, and the way he trained him and finished his responsibility. Now, next paragraph. But I was not finished. I still wondered if I would be terror stricken when I was alone in the pool. I tried it. I swam the length up and down. Tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. Tiny vestiges means small signs of terror. But now I could frown and say to that terror, trying to scare me, "Ah, well, here's to you. Look," and off I would go for another length of pool. Now, length up and down means from one side of the pool to the other end of the pool. Douglas was not satisfied with the training, so he wanted to test himself and wanted to know whether the terror returns when he is in the pool all alone. He went into the pool, and yes, the tiny sign of old terror did return, and he gave angry expression to the terror and continued swimming. Frown means giving angry expression to somebody. This went on until July, but I was still not satisfied. I was not sure that all the terror had left, so I went to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. So I went to Lake Wentworth, which is in this state, New Hampshire, dived off, jumped into the dock at Triggs Island, and swam 2 miles across the lake to Stampact Island. So from Triggs Island, he jumped into the Triggs Island. From Triggs Island to Stampact Island, there was distance was 2 miles. So he jumped into the island, swam 2 miles, and then came back using the following strokes. I swam the crawl stroke, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. Only once did the terror return, when I was in the middle of the lake. I put my face under and saw nothing but bottomless water. The old sensation returned in miniature. Miniature means in small form. The terror returned. I laughed and said, "Well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me?" It fled and I swam on. So when the terror returned, he laughed at the terror and terrorized it. Said, "You can't do anything to me." And the terror fled away. It ran away and he continued swimming. Yes, I had residual doubts. Still, he was not satisfied and he had some leftover doubts. At my first opportunity, I hurried west, went to the Titan to Comrade Meadows, from Titan River to the grasslands, up the Conrad Creek Trail, and then from Conrad Creek Trail, this is the name of the path, from this path to Mead Glaciers, and camped in the high meadow by the side of Warm Lake, and he pitched his tent near the Warm Lake. The next morning I stripped, removed my clothes, dived into the lake, and swam across to the other shore and back. So from one end of the shore to the other end, and then again came back, just as Dog Corcoran used to do. I shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. I had conquered my fear of terror. Now, Dog Corcoran, he was a swimmer. He used to swim across from one shore to the other and back, and Douglas imitated him, copied him to overcome his leftover fears. And then, when no fear returned, no terror came in the water, he shouted with joy. He was so happy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. I had conquered my fear of water. Now he was so happy and shouted with joy. And the peak, what was the name of the peak? Gilbert Peak. Gilbert Peak, when we shout near the mountain area, then we listen our own voice, that is called echo. So he shouted with joy, and Gilbert Peak returned the echo. He had conquered his fear of water. Coming to the next paragraph, the experience had a deep meaning for me, as only those who have known stark terror and conquered it can appreciate. Now, here the author wants to say that I'm not only describing my horrible experience, this experience has given me one lesson. Now, those who have experienced the terror and have conquered it and have overcome it will only appreciate my efforts. Now, what lesson he has learned? He's telling, in death there is peace. There is terror only in the fear of death, as Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is fear itself. In death there is peace. Means if somebody is dead, so he is in the state of peace. He will not, those who do not make efforts, they are compared to a dead person. There is terror only in the fear of death. If you see the death closer to you, then only you are scared. So Roosevelt knew when he said, all we have to fear is fear itself. Now, here he wants to say, all terrors and fears are psychological. We can conquer them. Only we have to be determined and courageous. And Douglas conquered the fear of water only by making himself a perfect swimmer. So, because I had experienced both the sensation of dying and the terror that fear of it can produce, the will to live somehow give in intensity. So he has experienced the sensation of terror when he was going down the swimming pool for the first and the second time, and sensation of death when he started going down in the pool for the third time. During the state of terror, if we have a willpower to live, then we gather strength and make our efforts to face it. So, at last, I felt released, free to walk the trails and climb the peaks and to brush aside fear. So, at last, he was released, and without any fear, he could walk through the trails, means the passages, the path. He could walk through the forest path, and climb the peaks. So now he was released from all the fear, especially fear of water. So here our chapter ends. Now, students, the lesson highlights how our childhood experiences play an important role in formation of our personality. So we learn a valuable and life-saving lesson that one must try to challenge and overcome the fear. We should not be scared of our fear. We should try to overcome it. Thank you.